I'm Lahiri Nanda, and this is Hustling from Home. Today, we'll be talking about home delivery, whether it be of essentials, of food, or of courier services. Today, to talk about this, I have with me Mr. Ratnesh Verma, who is the founder of Pidge, an on demand last mile courier delivery service which has been active throughout the COVID 19 lockdown in India. Thank you for joining us, Ratnesh. So, as you may already know, delivery staff recently have faced a lot of turmoil out on the streets, from being beaten by police to not being accepted in terms of what they're delivering and being sent back to their employers. So, what is Pidge doing at this time to ensure the safety of their staff, including physical safety as well as health?
So, one of the core value propositions of Pidge is safety and security. Safety and security of our customers, of the package that we handle of our customers, and of our employees. Each of Pidge's delivery executives is on roll. We do not outsource, they have fixed income. We give them benefits, they have insurances when they join, not as a consequence of a crisis, but they have always had insurances, medical insurances for their family, life insurances for themselves, accident insurance. They have that protection. They know when they join Pidge, they know they have commitment from the company. They know the company cares for them. This is also disrupting the on demand economy space. Um, but at Pidge, caring for our employees and our commitment towards our employees is unrelenting. Now, having said that, our employees feel that commitment. They are confident that the company is going to care for them, is going to look after them. We give them extensive training. Um, Back in end February, when India had just had its first case of coronavirus, we already issued out hygiene inventory to them, hand sanitizers, masks. And we had kind of like told them to wear the mask in front of the customer at the time. Now, of course, it's mandatory at all times. And was a very interesting story. One of the customers, and I distinctly remember this was in February, early March, and much before the lockdown, by the way. And the customer received a package, but before the package, our rider offered the customer a hand sanitizer, and the customer wrote a raving review on Instagram and saying couldn't believe the standard of hygiene and that was followed.
As far as our riders are concerned, we've always, we've always provided them with insurance. So there was nothing new that we needed to do for coronavirus. But we've just made sure that all the precautions that we need to take, as prescribed, in, are constantly reminded, are constantly told to our riders, because nothing at this point in time is more important than awareness of what needs to be done and then doing it in a consistent manner. And that's what we really believe at Pidge.
And based on what your company has seen thus far, what are some of the biggest challenges that the delivery industry in India is facing at the moment?
So this is a really difficult time for everyone. The uncertainty, the unawareness, the ignorance about the virus that we deal with. It all just kind of like manifests in different ways. It creates different levels of anxiety amongst everyone, different levels of fears. At the consumer end, the enforced social distancing, the enforced um, being at home or being quarantined, it requires creates a demand on delivery services which is unparalleled. I don't think anybody was ever geared for it. So I think that as a general matter, um, there are fears, there is lack of preparedness at the demand side, lack of preparedness at the supply side. There's a lack of preparedness, awareness, fears on the delivery side, and all of that kind of like is is something that we weren't ready for. Nobody was ready for it.
And what is Pidge doing to overcome these challenges?
I have to be candid. Um, we weren't ready to deal with um, a challenge or a demand of this magnitude like anybody else. We're a young company, but even more mature companies, very mature companies, weren't even ready for it. So um, we have the same challenges. As I say, true sailors are tested in rough waters, and it doesn't get any rougher than this. But then to have over 80% of your employee base, delivery executive base, be out fulfilling their responsibilities at a time like this is a show of character of those delivery executives and the company. Is a reflection of the commitment both at the delivery executives and at the as of the company. And I'm personally extremely indebted and grateful to our delivery executives for what they do.
All right, so based on everything you've told me thus far, how do you think the delivery industry might change for the better in the future, drawing from lessons learned during this pandemic and the lockdown?
Every global event changes the way we live. Up until 9/11 happened in the US, malls didn't have security checks, metal detectors, X-ray machines. Hotels didn't have them. Airports didn't have them. But it did become a reality post the 9/11. And a pandemic of this nature, something that the world has never seen. Unless, of course, if you're over 100 years old and you may have lived through the Spanish flu of the 1918, the world has not seen something of this magnitude. And this will surely have a lasting impact on human behavior, human psyche, and for sure, the way consumers behave and consume. Um, so I think we need to kind of like just contextualize that. Is social distancing the new norm? Or when we go to a public space, will we be passing through metal detectors as well as disinfectant tunnels? Is our face mask going to be the new accessory, fashion or otherwise? And there'll be a lot of things. But one thing's for sure, the impact of um, an event like this, a global event like this, is going to be lasting, is going to change permanently the way we live and the way we consume. More specifically to the delivery business, we got to figure out how do we ramp up supply in a rapid manner? How do we make sure that everybody who needs our help is getting our help? Everybody who needs a delivery is getting that delivery. So whether we think about synergies with other businesses, creating ad hoc delivery solutions, aggregation, whatever that may be, but we need to have a contingent plan to be able to ramp up very rapidly to deal with crisis situations such as this. The second takeaway is safety. Um, Safety at the individual level and safety at the package level, individual, both consumer and employee. Um, so all companies are following very high safety standards at this point in time in terms of hygiene, in terms of social distancing, and other precautions as well. We must make sure that post this crisis, we don't go back to the old ways. We don't take things for granted. We must maintain the heightened levels of hygiene and security, um, and that's crucial as well. And the third, I believe, is dealing with human anxieties and fears, whether it's at the consumer level or at the delivery executive level, and to be more empathetic. Um, And at a time like this, sincere empathy is very important. Um, and those are the lessons so far.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Ratnesh, and for sharing your insight into how some of our frontline staff are coping with this pandemic and continuing to support Indians across the country.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my perspectives on delivery services during these crisis times. And I do sincerely hope that we would have flattened the curve, we would have broken the chain, and India and the world will be corona free very soon. Thank you very much.
To all of our frontline staff out there, we are eternally grateful to you. Thank you so much for working so hard so the rest of us can stay safe. And to everyone, please correspond to public health guidelines and stay safe, stay informed, and keep hustling.